Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew from TravelingGuitars.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about playing guitar with drums. Um, just going to give you some tips and tricks, some things to keep in mind, and also how to prepare for it as well. Right away, I would say there's 5 essential things that you should do if you want to learn how to play with a drummer or even just a drum track. What you want to do is you want to pay attention to each part of the kit to figure out which part and at which section of the song is keeping time. So, for instance, when it comes to drum playing, from what I understand, typically there's at least one part of the kit that's keeping time at all time. So even though, you take someone like Matt Halpern, for example, from Periphery, even though he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff, there's usually one part of the kit that's keeping everything together. Commonly, I would say it's the snare, at least from what I can hear in other people's music. The snare is usually keeping it all together, or sometimes it's the kick, not always though, but it's usually the snare or the hi-hat or something like that. So you want to pay attention to that and figure out what's keeping time, and then you don't want to play to it, but you want to play with it. You just want to keep it as a frame of reference, and you just kind of jam along with it. So that's number 2. Use this kick or the snare or the cymbal or the hi-hats as the frame of reference. And then you want to, because of that, you're going to have an idea of where the beat is hitting. So you want to play with that beat. You want to play with it. You want to go along with it. You want to use it as a frame of reference. And number 4, just pay attention to the space in between the beats. You just keep it in mind. Like, this is all very ethereal. I think that's the right word. It's not set in stone. Like, that's kind of what makes it music. I mean, if it was set in stone, it wouldn't be music. It would be robotic, And number 5, I put play with the groove. So that just means that's kind of wrapping up everything together, which means that you're just listening to the drummer and like getting into that feel of like what he's doing, he or she is doing, and you play with it. You kind of just get the feel for it. You get the feeling of the timing and the tempo and the rhythm and the rhythm of the track, and you want to be tapped into that rhythm. So now I'm going to tell you about some things that you can do to prepare. By the way, I would recommend you check out the article because I really run through everything individually and explain it all. If you want to learn how to prepare with the drummer, honestly, GarageBand's drummer track is fantastic. I'll show you right now. It's probably one of the best aspects of GarageBand. It's pretty dope. I highly recommend it. Let's create one right now. So I'm going to create one and then I'm just going to play it. I mean, you just kind of listen to which part is keeping time. I'm going to turn it down so you can actually hear me talking. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll notice that there's a snare on every other beat. So let's listen again. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 snare, 1 snare, 1 snare, 1 snare, 1 snare, 1 snare. And then, so you just kind of keep that in mind and you just play along with it, man. Anyway, I actually broke a string last night, so I'm kind of upset about it. Anyway, so you just want to pay attention to it, and you just kind of play along with it, And the great thing about it is that you can adjust the tempo, you can change the cymbals on it, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can add all kinds of fills, you can even add some syncopation to make it more sophisticated, and you can play along with that. It's great, so definitely check that out. Another thing is to, always play along with a click track or a metronome. I always, play with a click track, a metronome, or a song. I'm pretty much always playing with something. I used to noodle around when I was a lot younger. I would just noodle constantly, and I don't know. I mean, that's a great way to play. There's nothing wrong with doing that sometimes, but in general, you want to make sure that you're playing with something because that's kind of what makes it music. I mean, if you're just playing guitar on its own, I find that you just end up messing around and like playing little notes in 3 seconds of one song and 3 seconds of another song. It's just not it's not conducive to being the type of person that other people are going to want to play with because you're just going to have all these bad habits and like I mean yeah, you're going to have bad habits and you're going to a common thing that people do, bedroom people do, is that they when they finally play with something, they kind of expect the drummer to play with them, like go along to them rather than use the drummer as kind of a frame of reference for the beat. So I used to do this too. Like whenever I would jam with the guy I used to jam with, he would I when I listened back to some of our recordings, a lot of our stuff was just way too fast because he was playing along with me and I wasn't playing along with him. I was just playing everything 30 beats per minute too fast. Sounded terrible. We did all right though. Actually, we did all right. And another thing, as I just mentioned, is to play along with music and recordings. I use Spotify. I just play along to Rap Caviar. I just jam to that all the time. I've already talked about this in a few other videos. I would play some other random music that I would jam to, but I would get a copyright strike. So I will let's just play this. I haven't really jammed to this much yet. I'm missing a string, so. But this is a song that a client sent me, and I'm mixing it. It actually sounds pretty awesome. But the song's in the key of G minor. So I would just play along with this, man.
Quella notte di marzo che mai scorderò, quel breve messaggio come un pugno nello stomaco.
Anyway, I sucked this morning. But anyway, what else do I want to say? Oh yeah, I would say the final thing to do to really prepare for playing with others is to keep in mind, I don't know, man, like whenever you listen to music, just pay attention to the way that the drums, oh man, I just lost my audio. Just pay attention to the way that the drums are working together with the guitar. You can do this with everything. You can do this with pop, hip hop, rap, rock, metal. You can just listen to it, pay close attention to it, get a feel for it, and just apply that to what you're doing. But anyway, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.